The portal opened with a brilliant flash, and on the other side, the planet of Universe 11's god of destruction, Belmod, was revealed in all its splendor. In the distance stood his imposing temple, surrounded by an energy field that pulsed with golden and violet hues, a testament to the immense power residing there. As Goku, Zeno, and Dai Shinkan crossed the portal's threshold, Belmod's key stirred. From his throne, the god of destruction felt the overwhelming presence that had just entered his domain. His eyes widened in recognition of the unmistakable key of Zeno-sama. Alongside it was the key of Goku, radiating a divine authority that Belmod found almost intimidating. In the blink of an eye, Belmod appeared before them, accompanied by Margarita, his angelic attendant who maintained her characteristic serene demeanor. Belmod immediately bowed, his body trembling slightly, unable to conceal his nervousness. "Zeno-sama! Oh, great Zeno-sama, if I have committed any mistake or failed in my duties as a god of destruction, I humbly apologize. I swear I can make amends." Zeno and Goku exchanged confused glances, puzzled by Belmod's reaction. Zeno tilted his head like a child hearing a joke they didn't understand. "Huh? Why are you apologizing, Belmod? Did you do something wrong?" Goku scratched his head with his signature carefree smile and added, "Yeah, we're not here to scold you or anything. I just came because, well, I want to fight you, that's all." Belmod looked up, blinking in disbelief. The seriousness on Goku's face and Zeno's childlike excitement confused him further. Fight? With me? But Zeno-sama, why?" Dai Shinkan, who had remained silent until then, intervened with absolute calm. "Goku-sama, the minor king of all, has decided to embark on a journey across the multiverse in search of challenges worthy of his power. We considered that you, Belmod, as the god of destruction of Universe 11, might be an interesting opponent. This visit entails no punishments or evaluations, merely a test of skills." Zeno nodded enthusiastically, pointing at Goku. Yes! I want to see my brother fight! He's super strong! He already defeated Jiren!" The mention of Jiren sparked curiosity in Belmod, but also sent a shiver down his spine. Someone surpassing his most powerful warrior was not something to take lightly. Meanwhile, Margarita, ever observant, gazed at Goku with renewed interest. "It seems the minor king of all has a very particular motivation. What do you think, Belmod? Perhaps this is a good opportunity to measure your abilities." Still uneasy, but aware he couldn't refuse Zeno and his brother's request, Belmod straightened his posture and let out a sigh. "Very well, if that is what you desire. But I must warn you, I won't hold back." Goku grinned ear to ear, his eyes sparkling with excitement for a new challenge. "That's exactly what I wanted to hear! Let's see what you're made of, Belmod!" Zeno jumped for joy, while Dai Shinkan watched with a faint smile, knowing this would be another battle that would go down in multiversal history. The stage was set, and the battle was about to begin. Suddenly, the atmosphere on Belmod's planet changed. The air, moments ago, charged with excitement and anticipation, grew eerie. Small specks of ash began to fall from the sky, but they were no ordinary ash. These particles shimmered with the colors of the heavens, reflecting shades of blue, purple, and gold, only to vanish like smoke upon contact. "Ooh, is it a light show? It looks pretty!" But Goku's smile faded. His battle-hardened instinct, sharpened through countless fights, told him this was no good sign. He glanced at Belmod, who was also frowning, staring at the horizon with evident concern. In the vast space surrounding the planet, something even stranger was happening. The stars began disappearing one by one, as though swallowed by a slowly expanding veil of darkness. What had been a vibrant, luminous landscape turned into an empty abyss. "This is not normal. Something is disrupting the balance." "Even I cannot identify what's happening. This does not belong to the established order of the multiverse." That statement was enough to send chills through everyone. If even the Grand Priest couldn't determine the cause of this phenomenon, it meant they were facing something entirely new and potentially dangerous. "This doesn't look like a joke! Belmod, do you feel that?" Belmod nodded, his expression reflecting a mix of disbelief and caution. "Yes, it feels like a void. I can't trace any specific key, but something is affecting the very fabric of this universe." The ground began to tremble slightly, as if the entire planet was reacting to the presence of the encroaching darkness. The ash continued to fall, and the air grew denser, as though an invisible force was compressing everything. Is it something fun? Dai Shinkan turned to Zeno, maintaining his calm yet protective tone. My lord, I believe it would be wise to remain vigilant. This does not appear to be something we can ignore. Goku clenched his fist, his expression one of pure determination. He glanced at Zeno, then at Dai Shinkan. So, what do we do? If something is threatening this universe, or the multiverse, we can't just stand by. Zeno, though still excited by the prospect of an adventure, began to grasp the gravity of the situation as he saw the seriousness in his brother's face. So, are we going to stop it, Goku? Whatever it is? Goku nodded, looking toward the expanding void on the horizon, ready to face whatever lay beyond this unknown threat. The Grand Priest carefully examined the ash floating in the air. His usually unshakable expression grew more tense. Margarita also studied the particles, skillfully moving her staff to emit a glow that revealed complex structures within the ash. This is not mere ash. It's the fabric of reality itself, slowly tearing apart. This universe is being affected by a force that does not belong to the order we know. Margarita nodded, her eyes reflecting a mix of fascination and concern. Something or someone is altering the very foundation of this dimension. If this continues, it could lead to the complete collapse of Universe 11. Before Goku could respond, his body tensed suddenly. His gaze turned to the dark horizon, his eyes narrowing as he tried to decipher what he was sensing. Those ki. Belmod had sensed it too. His stance shifted from relaxed to defensive as his purple aura flared instinctively. What is this? I've never felt anything like it. So dark, so immense. This isn't normal. The two energies were indescribable, like a fusion of chaos and raw power. Yet, with a malicious essence that seemed to absorb light and hope around them, they were so colossal that even Goku, accustomed to facing powerful enemies, felt a slight shiver run down his spine. These don't feel like anything I've encountered before. Not in this universe or any other. What the hell is going on here? Margarita and Dai Shinkan exchanged a concerned look. For beings like them, angels with vast knowledge, it was unusual not to be able to identify an energy or its origin. This went far beyond incomprehensible. This doesn't originate from the known multiverse. It feels external, something that shouldn't be here. Zeno, meanwhile, looked up at the darkened sky with a mix of curiosity and unease. Though he didn't fully grasp the situation, he could sense that this was unlike anything he had ever witnessed before. What does that mean? Is there something beyond the multiverse? Before anyone could answer, a massive vibration coursed through the air as though the fabric of space itself was about to collapse. From the dark horizon, a luminous rift opened in the void, and a shadowy figure began to emerge slowly. The second presence remained obscured, but its malicious ki felt just as intense as the first. Whatever it is, I won't just stand by. If they're here with bad intentions, we'll find out my way. Belmod stepped up beside Goku, his aura resonating with power. I'm with you, Goku. Whatever this is, we won't let it destroy our universe. A tense silence filled the air, interrupted only by the rising vibration of these unknown entities' ki. Zeno watched wide-eyed while Dai Shinkan and Margarita analyzed the situation intently. The battle ahead promised to be beyond anything they'd ever faced before. From the darkness, one silhouette became clearer than the other. It was evident that one was female and the other male. You know what to do, Murasaki. The tension thickened as the male figure faded back into the shadows, leaving the woman behind. Her very presence seemed to distort the space around her, as though reality itself was uneasy with her existence. The woman floated forward calmly. Her appearance was unlike anything from Universe 11. She wore a samurai-like armor reminiscent of Earth in Universe 7. Her long, slightly wavy hair framed her strikingly unique eyes, red pupils against black sclera. So, this is the great king of all, the legendary Zeno-sama. What a disappointment. Definitely a watermelon head. Zeno frowned, crossing his arms in an attempt to look stern, but his expression betrayed a mix of surprise and discomfort. What does that mean? Why is she saying that to me? Before anyone else could react, Goku stepped forward, his divine aura beginning to shine with growing intensity. His eyes narrowed as he stared directly at Murasaki, his posture making it clear he wouldn't tolerate any threats toward his brother. No one insults my brother. Who are you to show up here and act like you own the place? Murasaki stopped in front of them, crossing her arms disdainfully. Her grin widened, exuding overwhelming confidence. Me? I'm just the partner of someone with business to settle with this little celestial. I'm not interested in explaining myself to you, pighead. My job is simple. Take Zeno-sama, willingly or not. If you think you can come here and threaten the king of all, you're severely underestimating the multiverse I protect. Margarita stepped forward, staff in hand, ready for anything, but Goku raised a hand to stop them. No need to step in, Dai Shinkan. This fight is mine. Murasaki's expression shifted slightly, showing a mix of surprise and curiosity. Oh? So the little guardian dog of Tiny Zeno wants to play? Fine. Let's see if you live up to the legends. Before anyone could blink, Murasaki disappeared and reappeared directly in front of Goku, delivering a thunderous punch that he blocked with his forearm. The impact cracked the ground beneath them in a radial pattern, sending shockwaves skyward. Not bad, but not enough. Murasaki took a step back, still smiling, and adjusted her stance. Her dark aura began to swirl around her body, intensifying. This is just the beginning. Let's see how much you can take, little king of all. Zeno watched the scene unfold with a mix of awe and excitement, while Dai Shinkan remained alert, evaluating the situation. Goku and Murasaki faced off in what promised to be a clash of powers never seen before, with the fate of the multiverse hanging by a fragile thread. Dai Shinkan tilted his head slightly, and in an instant, he, Zeno, Belmod, and Margarita vanished in a flash of bright light, reappearing inside the God of Destruction's palace. The interior was majestic, filled with golden columns and decorations in crimson and purple hues. However, Zeno paid little attention to the details, crossing his arms and frowning with a clear expression of displeasure. I don't want to stay here. I want to watch Goku fight. It's so exciting. Take me back. Belmod leaned toward him carefully, trying to calm him down. My little great Zeno-sama, you know Goku is more than capable of handling the situation. Why don't you relax for a moment? From here, we can watch everything safely from the palace. What about you? What do you think? Staying here is boring. Margarita, with her usual serene smile, stepped forward and placed her staff in front of them, projecting a holographic image of Goku and Murasaki in the middle of their battle. Your Majesty, we can watch every detail from here without missing a moment of the action. Look, I can even make it more exciting. With a small twist of her staff, the image began to show the fight from dramatic angles, with amplified sound effects highlighting the powerful impacts between Goku and his adversary. Inspired, Belmod decided to liven up the scene even more. Margarita, add some background music! This is like a show! In an instant, an epic melody filled the room, matching the movements of Goku. Zeno-sama, unable to resist the atmosphere, began laughing as he pointed at the projection. That's awesome! Look how Goku's pushing her back! Boom, bam, he's the best! Dai Shinkan, standing quietly in a corner, watched silently but with a faint smile, seeing Zeno-sama enjoying himself. Although the situation was tense, at least they had managed to keep him safe and distracted while Goku once again demonstrated his ability to protect his brother and maintain the multiverse's balance. The air grew dense with tension as Murasaki, with a cold and calculated smile, raised her hand toward the sky. Her energy concentrated at the center of her palm, forming a luminous sphere of deep black with reddish sparks. The orb floated, spinning slowly like a tiny atom suspended in midair. Revolution. With a guttural cry, she hurled it at Goku. The sphere streaked through the air like a bolt, leaving a trail of energy that darkened the sky. The moment it struck Goku's side, a massive explosion of energy unleashed a shockwave so intense it distorted the very fabric of space around them. At first, Goku felt only a sharp pain in his side. He thought it was just another blow, until he realized something much graver was happening. Murasaki's energy had disintegrated part of his body at an atomic level. This was not just an injury. It was as though the very fabric of his being was being erased from existence. The sensation was so alien and terrifying that, for the first time in centuries, a shiver ran down Goku's spine. It was an attack that defied the laws of physics and reality itself. This? What is this? Murasaki's energy had completely destroyed the atomic structure of his side, leaving him exposed to nothingness. Even with his resilience, the feeling of being so close to annihilation was overwhelming. For the first time, Goku experienced true danger in battle, something he hadn't felt in years.
Do you feel that, monkey? That's what it means to stand on the brink of total erasure. You're not just hurt, you're being erased.
Clenching his teeth, Goku ignored the pain and the confusion coursing through his body. His gaze became more serious, his posture straighter. He couldn't let himself fall into despair. This fight wasn't just for fun. It was clear that Murasaki wasn't an ordinary foe. If he didn't take her seriously, the battle could end much sooner than expected. That was interesting. But I'll warn you, I don't like when someone plays with reality. Now I'll get serious. With a quick motion, Goku shot into the air, distancing himself from Murasaki at high speed. The divine energy emanating from him intensified, and his aura shone with dazzling brilliance. The fight had just become far more dangerous, and Goku couldn't afford to be underestimated, not for a second longer. I've never felt anything like this before. I have to stay on my guard. Meanwhile, Zeno-sama from the palace watched wide-eyed as the battle reached a level even he hadn't anticipated. Still feeling the burn of his wound, Goku decided it was time to end things. He launched himself toward Murasaki at lightning speed, gathering all his energy into one devastating beam. His hand extended forward, and with a shout of power, he unleashed a massive surge of energy point blank, intending to disintegrate her in a single blow. The energy wave tore through the air with fury, lighting up the landscape as it advanced toward its target. But Murasaki, with an icy smile, made no effort to dodge. Instead, she simply vanished before Goku's eyes, passing through the beam of energy as if her presence had ceased to exist. Goku's attack soared harmlessly into the void as Murasaki reappeared instantly. In the blink of an eye, she materialized in front of Zeno-sama, like a specter of darkness. Her presence flooded the air with a palpable sense of emptiness. Goku froze, his missed attack hovering uselessly in the air as he watched Murasaki position herself in front of his brother. What? How? Murasaki's smile widened as she saw the surprise in Goku's eyes.
Don't you get it yet, fool? I am not of this world. I'm not of this universe. I am not something you can touch or capture so easily.
Goku floated silently, struggling to process what had just happened. Deep down, he knew this battle wouldn't be as simple as he thought. The gravity of the situation began to sink in. From within the palace, Zeno-sama watched his brother intently, uneasy but also intrigued. His presence vibrated with an unusual energy as he observed a new kind of adversary.
Goku, what's happening?
Murasaki, without uttering a word, stepped forward, or so it seemed. Her figure disintegrated and reconstructed, as though manipulating space itself.
The time for talking is over, Goku. Let's see how strong you really are when you can't even touch me.
Her form disappeared once more, but this time the air around her grew dense and heavy, as though the universe itself had contracted. Goku, his instincts honed, tried to anticipate her next move, but again he was lost. For the first time in ages, Goku felt out of place in battle. Suddenly, a gust of wind surged. The atmosphere distorted, and Goku felt Murasaki's presence everywhere, inside his mind, brushing against his body, yet he couldn't touch her. Her movements were imperceptible. How do you fight someone you cannot even perceive? This isn't a normal power. How do I fight something like this? His breathing quickened. The challenge had become far greater. Belmod, now seething with rage, concentrated all his power into unleashing a devastating Hakai, an attack even gods feared. The sphere of destruction shot directly toward what appeared to be Murasaki, but upon impact, the energy simply passed through her like a ghost. No explosion, no trace, only emptiness. What? Before he could process what was happening, Murasaki materialized again, this time behind Zeno-sama. Her dark presence cloaked the small being like a tangible shadow. Her smile was cold, suffused with smugness, as she surveyed the scene.
It's time to go, Zeno-sama. The game is over.
Zeno-sama, hearing her voice, gave a small jump and turned around, surprise flashing across his face. Despite his ultimate power, something about the way Murasaki moved and spoke made him feel vulnerable. Immediately, he turned to Dai Shinkan for protection, sensing that something was gravely wrong.
What's happening? What do you want from me?
The situation worsened as Belmod, still furious, tried to intervene once more. Channeling his power into an even larger Hakai wave, he hurled it at Murasaki, intending to erase her existence entirely. Yet again, the attack passed through her as though she had never been there. No trace, only void. Impossible! Dai Shinkan, his expression calm but firm, stepped forward. He understood the escalating danger and could not allow Zeno-sama to fall into this enigmatic being's grasp. Without hesitation, he materialized in front of Zeno, quickly pulling him away from Murasaki, who remained motionless, observing the scene with unsettling calmness. Even Goku, watching everything unfold, failed to react in time. Zeno-sama, don't worry. I won't let her touch you. Not this time. Murasaki, seeing Dai Shinkan intervene, didn't seem the least bit perturbed. Her form remained unchanging, though a flicker of impatience appeared in her eyes. A sigh escaped her lips, and for an instant, her body seemed even less tangible, as if she were fading entirely.
How tedious. Do they truly believe they can stop me with their tricks? Really?
Her form vanished once more, dematerializing like a shadow in light, only to reappear in an even more unpredictable location. The power she radiated was more palpable now, as though reality itself were twisting around her. What the hell is this thing? I can't even touch her! The fact that Murasaki could phase through every attack and distort the very fabric of reality left everyone, gods included, dumbfounded. But despite his confusion, Goku couldn't allow himself to give up so easily. A fire ignited within him. Even if he couldn't fully comprehend the situation, his determination remained unwavering. I won't let you take my brother! Zeno-sama is my brother! I won't let you have him! With renewed fury, Goku channeled his energy into his fist, preparing for a fresh offensive. He knew this was no ordinary battle. Deep inside, he felt there had to be a way to win, a way to defy reality itself. Yet Murasaki, unruffled, gazed at Goku with an expression of mild boredom, as if the Saiyan had never posed a real threat. Her smile didn't waver. It was clear she was toying with them, savoring the fight.
You're going to stop me, Goku. Really? You think you can?
With a single motion, the very laws of space and time seemed to distort once more. Lost in her thoughts, Murasaki's twisted smile deepened. Her gaze fell on Zeno-sama, and for a fleeting moment, the calm she exuded took on a far darker edge. Slowly, she closed her eyes, and when she opened them again, thick black blood streamed down her cheeks like poisonous tears. The guardian of creation, Dai Shinkan, Belmod, and Margarita immediately tensed, desperately seeking the source of this horrific energy. Something catastrophic was about to happen. This isn't right. Everyone, prepare yourselves! The air grew heavier, the energy around them warping. Zeno-sama, usually so unshakable, let out an inhuman scream. The sound reverberated through the atmosphere, echoing painfully in the hearts of all present. His small body began to twist and convulse as though being torn apart from within.
No! What's happening?
Dai Shinkan, his face pale, stared in horror at the unfolding scene. A shiver ran down his spine. Zeno-sama wasn't just under attack. Something fundamental to his existence was being unraveled. Reality itself seemed to flicker and dissolve around him. Zeno-sama! What's happening?
This power, it's not from this universe.
Goku, who had been silently observing, felt an overwhelming and dangerous pressure. He didn't fully understand what was happening, but Zeno-sama's pain made his blood boil. Something ignited within him, a primal instinct to protect his brother, driving him to push past his limits. Without another thought, he charged into the scene, launching himself furiously at Murasaki. You won't do this to my brother! With a leap, Goku reached Murasaki, who looked at him with a cold smile before turning to face him. With a single motion of her arm, Murasaki dematerialized, but Goku was determined not to let her escape. Every move Murasaki made was like a flicker in time, dodging, appearing, and disappearing into shadows. But Goku, enraged, wasn't playing anymore. His divine ki erupted into the air, a storm of power and will. With unprecedented speed, he launched himself at her, his punches and kicks echoing in the air, disintegrating fragments of reality in their wake. Murasaki was forced to react, using her power to deflect the attacks, but Goku was focused. His brother Zeno was in danger, and that was all that mattered.
Is this what you call fighting? Don't you see what's happening?
The space around Murasaki seemed to warp, as though she didn't belong to the same reality. The laws of physics and time broke apart around her. Goku kept striking her, but every attack passed through her as if she were air, until finally, a beam of energy struck her chest. The explosion of energy that Goku had unleashed hit Murasaki with brutal force. However, as expected of someone with such power, the samurai woman not only withstood it, but regenerated almost instantly. The ashes of Universe 11's reality disintegrated in the air, reformed, and rematerialized her. Murasaki stood as if nothing had happened, with nothing but a faintly satisfied smile. "What did you do to my brother?" Murasaki, immune to Goku's anger, looked at him with a mocking expression, her gaze filled with that unsettling calm she had maintained throughout the battle.
Don't you get it, fool? If I can't take him with me, I'll keep him one way or another.
Goku, furious, stared at her with his heart pounding in rage and fear. Zeno-sama, his brother, was being consumed by Murasaki's power. His eyes, normally so bright and serene, were beginning to turn an intense yellow, a shadow of anguish crossing his face. The energy emanating from Murasaki wasn't just affecting reality, it was also consuming Zeno-sama's soul. Zeno-sama, the most powerful being in the multiverse, was beginning to fade before their eyes, his body trembling, his essence crumbling. "No! Zeno-sama is being consumed by something greater than his own existence!" Zeno-sama screamed in agony, but it wasn't just his pain that the others could feel. There was something more. The energy surrounding him was draining everything he knew, as if a strange entity was devouring not only his form, but everything he represented. The very principle of reality that Zeno maintained in balance was being dissolved. "This isn't just a battle. Zeno-sama isn't the target, he's the means! They're using his power as a conduit for something much bigger!" Hearing these words, Goku felt the world crumble beneath his feet. It wasn't just an attack on his brother, they were using him as a vessel for something darker, more dangerous. Murasaki's presence wasn't just malevolent, it was the manifestation of a chaotic force threatening to destroy everything that existed. "You won't succeed!" He launched himself at Murasaki again with all his fury, without thinking about the consequences. His aura expanded like a storm of light and shadow, his divine power emitting flashes of pure energy that blurred reality itself. The fight wasn't just for Zeno, it was for everything he stood for. Murasaki, however, stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with malice as she unleashed a wave of energy that sliced through space like paper.
Do you think you can save your brother from what's already beyond your comprehension?
The air grew heavy, and darkness began to flood the room like a tide of despair. Murasaki's energy, wrapped in shadows and chaos, continued devouring everything it touched. Even the air itself seemed to be consumed by her power. "No! If this continues, the entire multiverse will fall!" With a look of sacrifice, Dai Shinkan prepared to do what only he could, to try to save what was left of reality. But before he could act, Murasaki's power intensified even more, making everything tremble. "It's too late to stop this. Everything you know and love will become part of the darkness. And you, Goku, are just another pawn in this game. If you're the darkness, then I'll be the light that puts you out!"